Yep.
hablo desde la prisión. Wilson Manyoma. Borbona.
En vivo.
Oh, yeah.
Ahora estamos en vivo.
Masters and None, episode 57.
57, episode 57, and we're back. I was away last week. You know, I was away for a little while, but we're back. I was away, little vacation, but we're back now, so it's no big deal.
Does that not work?
Nope.
That's weird.
But we're back. It is 2021. Still this screwed up ass year, but we're back. We're back. Crazy.
I'm gonna test this real quick. Sorry, guys.
It's all good.
That works.
That works.
Uh,
Cam check 1 2 1 2. Cam check 1 2.
is that try now?
Cam check 1 2. Cam check
That's so disappointing.
1 2. There we go.
Oh,
there we go.
Hey.
Vamos.
Hey.
One time for the team. One time.
You see, live troubleshooting. Sometimes we just fuck off and then not even, and just leave it and just count it as a loss. But today,
Nah.
I wasn't going to fucking go for that today.
We were not, and we didn't, and this is great success.
It's great success.
Yes.
Damn, man. I want to talk about, so episode 57, we took a week off. Justin was on vacation, which kind of gave me like a free vacation. I felt like a bandit all last week. I was like, in reality, like I'm chilling too, but I'm like hiding behind this facade of like, we can't do the podcast because Justin's not here. But on Monday, sure as shit, I was kind of like, nice.
Yeah. Here we are at the same time. You're just like, I got a night off. Shit.
Exactly.
What do you want to do tonight, baby? You want to go out to dinner?
Yeah. So it resulted in a vacation for both of us from the podcast. But you know what's funny? Last year, we kind of took this time off too.
Did we?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think we did this last year too.
Really? We
Yeah.
did because we were short.
Yeah.
We were short because I think we had 50 episodes when it hit an actual calendar year since we started the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, we had like our 1 year celebration a couple of episodes early.
Yeah, exactly. And that's derived from like us not doing an episode in November.
Exactly. But here we are, bro. Episode 57. We're back. We're well past the year.
Well past a year.
And a lot of shit happened this, as of late. First of all, we got to catch up on the week we missed.
Yeah.
We have to catch up.
100%. Damn, so we got to talk about that shit before we get to talk about the stuff from this week?
We're talking about the vacation week.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we got to catch up. First of all, let's address the elephant or the tiger in the room.
Address the tiger in the room.
Let's address the tiger in the room.
Normally when I get tattooed, you guys never get to see it because I've been working on this arm. But now I'm like 95% with this arm is like complete. And now I began working on this arm. And I got a tiger, which one of my friends calls the happy tiger because it's not like a snarling tiger. Justin's got a super dope tiger on him. And it's so masculine. When I got this tattoo, which I was hyped about, I've been waiting to get tattooed by this guy since like
the artist is so fire.
For so long. I've been waiting to get. It's so funny because when we finished the session, I asked him to send me the pictures that he took, and he was like, I was like, you could DM them to me, and he opened up my DM, and dude, well, let's see when I first hit him up. It was 2019, I DM'd him. July of 2019, I DM'd him. I don't know if I emailed him before that, but that's just like a roundabout date of when when I originally reached out to him. So I've been waiting to get tattooed by this guy for a fucking long time, and he tattooed this tiger on me. And
that shit is fire as hell.
You guys will really get a better look next week because it's all peely and like peely right now. But
yo, it's so dope when that skin peels off, like when the piece comes off and then it reveals like the fresh color underneath.
Yo,
it's almost like you kind of
100%.
want that shit to happen.
Yeah.
Like even though you really don't want it to, you're like, oh no, it's gotta like come off properly. It's tough not to peel it off and like reveal that fresh ink.
If anybody's like tattoo-less, when a tattoo's healing and peeling, as that dead skin comes off, like the color underneath it is just like so clean that and it's like shinier than like the dead skin part. So yeah, I get that 100%. Yeah. I shouldn't even be peeling. I took off my Sanoderm too early, and that's why it's peeling like this. I took it off yesterday. I should have took it off today.
No, I mean that skin's gonna slough off either way. I mean it comes off. It just comes off like stuck to the Sanoderm. A lot of times
that's
like
is?
Yeah, I mean that's it's your skin healing. Essentially, it's almost like a burn.
Okay, because my last couple tattoos, I used There's something called Saniderm. There's other companies like Second Skin. It's essentially like a breathable, sticky, clear Band-Aid that I definitely recommend people use on their tattoos. Keep in mind, I'm not a fucking tattoo artist, nor am I a doctor, so you shouldn't take my advice on this.
But you're a guy that has received a significant amount of tattoos and big pieces that take a while to heal, and there's a lot of color and a lot of lines, like a lot of black punched in there. Like you're an expert on tattoo healing.
In my opinion, I think that Second Skin, Saniderm, like any of those, Tegaderm, any of those, or Tagaderm, whatever, however it's pronounced, I think they're like 100% necessary. I think it's crazy that every tattoo artist doesn't give it out with them. And I get it. It's super expensive.
But that tattoo's fucking super expensive.
But yeah.
With what I'm paying you, like, yo, I can't even tell people what I paid for this tattoo.
No, I don't tell anybody.
I don't even tell people. I don't tell them. But yeah,
People
for
don't
that
get
cost, they should give you the Saniderm.
Yeah. Dude, you going into a place and you're dropping like, big money. You're dropping 4 digits. Like,
yeah,
that should get Saniderm. The guy who, shout out to Ben Oz, tattoo artist. He tattooed me in Pennsylvania. Now he's in Florida, but super sick neo-traditional. If you guys are into neo-traditional, look him up. He's sponsored by Second Skin. So when he tattooed me, he gave me like, he put like
he must have gave you like a roll, bro.
Well, dude, a roll of Second Skin, get this,
a
roll of Second Skin is $278, something like that, sub 300, between 275 300 for a roll of Second Skin. So that's what, so when I talk about it's expensive, like that's what I mean. It's fucking expensive. So, but I still think, like I said, it should be factored into the tattoo cost, and it should be provided.
Yeah, I agree. I use the Saniderm, but it's the same principle. But the idea of,
what up, Twiz?
Yeah, what's good, Twiz, in the chat, bro? When it comes to getting the tattoo, it costs a lot of money. So that's why I just buy the Saniderm, or I just buy the Second Skin, because it's like, really, are you going to nitpick on what it costs to cover it? $200 really with what you just spent on that tattoo?
Yeah.
Like $200 is a big deal. Like, come on, son. That's like getting like a super expensive camera and then buying the cheapest case possible, because you're like, yo, I'm not spending money on an expensive case. Okay, so just put a cheap case on an expensive ass camera. That's retarded.
When you drop that shit and it breaks,
yeah,
now you know why.
Yeah, exactly. But but the tattoo is fire, man. I wish you guys could see it in person. I feel a little spoiled that I'm sitting here looking at it. You know when somebody shows you a tattoo that makes you think like, damn, maybe I should have got like different style tattoos and shit. It's rare that I have that experience. It's very rare. Berto is one of few people that's given me that.
We have similar style tattoos, though. That's another thing.
Yeah, you do the neo-traditional, I do the American traditional.
Yeah, they're both like traditional styles. They're both like super bold, super like black, and
black punched in color.
Yeah, bold will hold.
Yeah, and the reason why I like these tattoos, we've discussed it before. Like, these are gonna look like what they are for years to come. I mean, you're always gonna be able to tell it's a tiger.
That's the thing, and it's nothing against like any other style of tattoo, right? Like, because I like to look. If you're asking me like what tattoos I like to look at, I like to look at like color. I like to look at black and gray realism. Like when I'm looking at tattoos and pictures and stuff like that, like that's what I like. Like,
yeah.
But if I'm talking about like tattooing myself, like I just feel like this is like it's tried and true. You know what I'm saying? Like you just said, you're gonna look at that and forever it's a tiger. You could pass me on a motorcycle, I'm gonna know it's a tiger.
Yeah.
You can be 10 feet away from me, and I got a pretty good idea of what it is.
That's why. I don't know, man. I just like it. It's just timeless tattoos. It's timeless tattoos. And I feel like a lot of tattoos, they got their start in this kind of vein. The neo-traditional is cool. And you know what? I don't have like 1,000% American traditional to the T. Like, there's colors on here they don't use in American traditional technically. Like, there's a very limited color palette. There's very limited things that actually make it 100% American traditional. I like people that throw their own twist on the American traditional style. Like, it's funny.
100%.
2 of the 4 artists I've been tattooed by aren't even American. So go figure that shit. One of them's from South Korea. Another one is from Russia. Like part-time, like partially raised in Peru and shit.
Yeah,
so
but
it's like,
that style just it's so it's the original style of tattooing.
Yeah.
It's like what the sailors used to get.
Yeah.
It's what the people that used to like, sail the ocean blue.
Yeah,
They used
facts.
to get tattoos based on like their like what they've done, their accomplishments on the sea. Like, you know, when you see people and they had like, the sparrow, it's because they made it,
I think that's like one time around a certain area, like a certain distance. Like you could get a sparrow like every like 5,000 miles at sea.
Exactly.
Some shit like that.
Yeah, bro.
Could,
so when you've seen people with certain tattoos, you're like, oh, this guy, like, he's the real deal.
Yeah, that's that Sailor Jerry shit. But I like the style of American traditional and stuff. Like I like Japanese traditional.
I love Japanese traditional.
Yo, that shit is. I might get a goddamn Japanese traditional leg sleeve. I don't know,
dude. That
I'm
guy
going out
who
there.
fought this weekend in the UFC.
Tats were crazy.
What was his name?
I
I should have
forget.
just asked you that because I don't know it either.
Yeah. Yeah. You just put me on a spot.
Yeah, but his tattoos were sick.
I like these styles because they really differentiate. They really show the basics of tattooing. Like, how good are your basics? Like, are you hiding shaky line work and like a lot of different extravagant shit? Like, or can you just pull a fucking like 8-inch straight black line, like straight down? Can you pull that one fucking, one needle pull without lifting?
That's
like,
that's the interesting part about like the traditional tattoos, right? Is all that line work. You don't really see it in like black and gray, which I wonder. You know what I wonder, honestly, and that might sound like an idiot. I wonder which style hurts the least, because as somebody who hates the pain of being tattooed, like I hate it. You can ask Justin. I was trying to figure out ways to like not be in pain.
Nah, you gotta be there, bro. You gotta be present.
No, I don't feel that way
I
anymore.
watch it. I do everything. I
don't feel that
don't
way
watch it
anymore.
too much though, because I don't want to put pressure on anybody. But sometimes I'll look and I'm like, I try to see the needle. You can't see that shit. It's impossible.
No, I'm not.
Just
It just after like hour number 5, like it's painful.
Yeah, man, it's painful, man. It's painful, especially in places like, I don't know how the hell on that right arm, how you got the inside.
Dude, I'm in the armpit.
Look at this guy. Turn to the camera over here.
What camera am I on? Does this
Yeah,
one work?
here. Yeah, we'll go on this one right here.
Dude, I'm
We'll go on this one right here.
in the pit.
Bro.
It's not my whole armpit isn't tattooed, but it's
Bro,
in-
but
it
you're
goes
in
pretty-
there, and there's color punched in there. The handle of that sword goes right up in there, bro. Like, that shit is crazy.
I just moved because I realized you couldn't see me in the camera.
Now
But-
you could see, like, the idea was that where that is, man. That shit is rough right
This
there. man.
wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be when I got it. After getting it and then going, because I got this tattoo in October, so this is fairly new. After going from there and then like a month later getting tattooed on the outside of my arm, this was like a walk in the park.
What a
compared to
difference,
this.
right? I'm sure it was different
This
as
was
hell.
like a walk in the park. When it was over, I didn't even believe it was over. I was like, damn, already?
Yeah.
Like it was a little bit of a little bit of pain on the elbow, but
Yeah.
that's it.
This one wasn't that bad. This one really wasn't that bad. I try to think of which one. This one up here, like toward the top of my shoulder, like up here, these stars and shit. And like this one right here, I remember this, I think this star right here specifically. Bro, when he shaded that, I
feel it in
felt
other
it in the
places?
back of my head.
Yeah.
He hit here and it was like, I was literally like, I felt it in my, like in some kind of nerve up the back of my goddamn skull.
Dude, that's why when I see these guys that got the throat jammies and shit, I'm just like, I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Bro, I'm not ready for the throat piece.
Dude,
bro.
the girls
I'm not.
that have their armpits done, like I'm tattooed pretty like deep into my arm area, like close to the armpit. But there's like chicks that got like or even dudes that got like their armpit tattooed. That's a gnarly area.
Yeah,
Like,
that's crazy.
That's a painful area to be.
Nobody
tattooed.
starts there. You're just
Nah.
like, at that point, you're just looking for tattoos. You're like, oh, you just got the bottom of your feet tattooed. So you're like, I'm out of space. Hit the pits. Like that. That's next level shit. I can't even understand. And the head.
Ooh,
To get your skull tattooed, I can't imagine what that must feel like.
I feel like the skull still doesn't like top like ribs or like stomach and like neck.
Yeah, I guess it depends. I mean, my girl got her ribs tattooed. That's where she started. That was her
Gangster.
first tattoo. Was her ribs. I was like, oh my god. I was like, that shit is crazy.
Women, I'm a firm believer that women like can handle more pain than men.
Oh yeah, that's a fact.
That scientific fact?
It has to be. I mean, they can tolerate childbirth.
Yeah.
I don't know a single man that could ever tolerate giving birth. Me? Hell no. Hell no. I would hope that I would die.
Yeah.
I'm like, please take me away from here, Lord.
Yeah.
Like, that's me. If I was having a baby, forget that shit.
It's funny because whenever I'm thinking about like my girl getting a tattoo and stuff like that, or she talks about getting a tattoo, I'm always letting her like, damn, are you gonna? That's a thought when anybody goes to get tattooed. If they're not like heavily tattooed or have like a decent amount of tattoos, I'm always like, are you gonna tap out? Like,
Yeah.
are you gonna sit through the whole session? Unless it's like they're gonna go get words or something like that. But when someone tells me they're gonna go sit down and they're gonna do something big, I'm always wondering in my head like,
Yeah.
huh, I
Yeah.
wonder if you're gonna make it through this.
Yeah, there's a lot of, and then there's people that'll shock you.
Yeah.
There's people you would never think, and they sit through that shit like a champion. I mean, it wasn't bad.
I know people that have tapped out.
Do you?
100%.
I seen people that I wish would have tapped out. I pray to God, I wish something.
I know a couple people who tapped out, but it is what it is. Like, you know, if you can't fucking, one of them, it was on their back. So like, I don't have any tattoos on my back. So I don't know. Maybe I would have tapped out too.
The back has got to be rough.
The other one was my boy. It was on his arm, and he passed out and then tapped out.
Oh wow.
So like, I think that was his body telling him, this ain't for you.
Yeah, I mean, some people, I guess, man, his body just threw up the blackout real quick. Just pulled the curtains real quick and was like, lay down.
You ever see those
What's gonna
videos on
happen?
YouTube of kids getting tattooed? They're just passing out.
Yo, you ever see pictures, the videos of people passing out doing random shit?
Nah,
Like, you never seen or the slingshot
that's
shit?
way better.
You ever see the slingshot shits?
What's the slingshot?
The slingshot ride?
No.
There's so many videos of mad people just passing out on it.
Oh yeah. The one that goes up.
Yeah, the one
Yeah.
they like
It,
pull
like,
them
free
down
falls.
and they like shoot them.
Yeah, dude, that thing pulls like 12 G's. Are you kidding me? It's like
Bro.
being in a fucking spaceship. Are you
There's so
fucking
many
kidding me?
people. Did you see the chick from Jersey? The girl, she was with her friend. They were like, yeah, they get blasted. And she gets hit with a seagull.
What?
And it's when she's like, yeah, you got to see her face. She goes like this. Bro, her face gets crazy. She goes, she's like,
She hit a
at
bird?
first, yo, bro, bird right here. Big ass bird. Yeah, shit's hilarious.
Seagulls are like a 30-pound bird,
Bro,
bro.
it's one of the funniest things I ever seen, yo. And at first she doesn't know what it is. She's like, she's just like mortified. Like, yo, it's great, yo. And then there's mad people passing out. There's chicks' wigs flying off.
I've seen the people passing out. I've seen the dude with his girlfriend, and he's kind of like trying to play it cool, and he's like holding his breath on the way up. He gets halfway up, he's like, "Ugh." He just gets quiet, and this girl's like, woo, woo. She's having a blast, and this dude is out, bro. He's on Queer Street. You don't know where the fuck he's at.
Yo, the best thing in the world, yo, is there's a dude. It might be the same guy. I don't know. You let me know if you remember this happening in the video. He passes out like multiple times. He goes up and he's like this, and he makes this weird sound. He goes like, ugh. And then he goes out, right? He goes out, bro, and then he's out like this, and he's just hopping, he's just flying up with his arms up and shit, right? And then he goes out one time, and then he wakes up, and he's like, ow! It goes back out again, yeah.
Is passing out like that, is that as bad for your brain as being knocked out?
No, not at all. Because you're not being knocked out by trauma. You're being knocked out by just, that's your body's like defense mechanism. Like your body's like, oh my God, we can't handle this. Calm down. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Same reason people pass out from like other things. Like if it's like a real clean cut and like their like hand might get cut off, but it's like super sharp like machinery or something like that. They don't even know that they got injured, but then they'll just pass out because once they recognize it, your body just like puts you out.
That's like when people see blood, right? That
Yeah.
People like can't tolerate things
Same
like that.
kind of thing. Like when you faint like that, it's just overstimulation. Like your brain is just like, yo, wait, we're sitting this one out.
You
Like,
know how I knew I wasn't a fainter? I watched my kid born, and I was like, I could do
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, yo, if you watched a live birth, especially from someone you know,
Yeah.
that's tough. I watched one, yo. That's
Yeah.
you know, and
It's not like watching it on TV.
no, it's not. It's very different, and
There's an aroma that
Yeah.
you can't capture in the classroom.
it's 4D.
Yeah. Oh, yes, it is.
It's 4D. There's no, there's no nothing. There's an aroma. There's, there's equipment. There's tools. There's people. There's, there's a whole lot of knowledge you don't have.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of helplessness in that sense. You're like, God damn, I hope you all know what's going on.
Yeah, I hope
'Cause
y'all
I
know
don't
what you're doing.
I ain't worth shit in this room right now. I don't have nothing for none of you guys.
They
Like,
don't even. My doctor wasn't even there. They were just like, "All right, we'll call him when you're ready." It's like, and I'm thinking like, when you're ready, baby's about to slip up out of there.
yeah, right. He's like, you ready? We got about 23 hours to go.
yeah,
That's it. He sat down. Like, it's a crazy thing. It's a goddamn miracle, man. But
that's what it.
Yeah.
they really call it the miracle of birth for the right reason.
it's a goddamn miracle.
It is a miracle.
Everything that occurs is a miracle.
It's crazy.
If you were to sit there and to tell, like, think about it. If you were to walk up to a child and figuratively speaking, give them the entire scenario of the creation of a baby and how they wouldn't even believe you. They'd be like, yeah, right.
They believe.
like
they
a
rather
blank-
believe that a bird drops them off.
Yeah.
That's more believable.
Like a person with a blank slate, like a person, let's say they have never been exposed to any kind of knowledge or whatsoever, and you explain that to them, they're like, yeah, right. You mean this lady, we make another one because it comes out of another person? Yeah, right. How long that thing cooks in 9 months? Yeah, right. It'd be overdone
You're
for
not
sure.
Just you're making. They're making.
For sure. Yeah. It's unbelievable.
We're human makers.
It's remarkable. Like you wouldn't even, nobody would believe you if you told them if there wasn't like a preconceived understanding of what
And look at all the technology that we have, bro. Imagine like animals in the wild.
bro, they're still giving birth
Dolphins
in
and
like,
shit. Those ones that just come out the womb run. The animals that come out the womb running.
yeah. You better start running, you better run quick.
What? Or animals that just come out the womb and they just leave their mother.
Yeah.
Fucking snakes or crocodiles and shit.
Yeah, man. It's like those baby turtles and stuff that there's like 1,000 of them on the beach, and
Yeah.
on average like 12 of them make it. I'm like, what?
Bro, they're just all born and they just all hopefully get back to the water and then that's it.
Yeah, and
They're
you know what's
just
crazy,
free, alone.
bro? Just now in Key West, I went on a tour,
You
and
went-
they told us about the turtles.
Is it turtle season?
Is there a turtle season? Are we hunting turtles? We're not hunting turtles.
No,
are we?
it's a breeding season though, for sure.
Oh shit, I have no idea. But
Turtles
he was-
come to like islands to breed because
bro,
like,
they return to the very beach they were born on.
is that a fact?
Yes.
I didn't know that shit.
Yes, and they give birth on the same beach. The guy was telling us, he's like, for the first year of their life, they're not strong enough to swim against the current. He's like, so they just float along for a year. He's like, imagine where this baby turtle, as it's growing, is going to float for a year because they're not, for the first year, they can't swim. They can't give birth until they're 20. That's when they're like, can give birth 20 years old of one of these big sea turtles. So at 20 years old,
They gotta make it to 20.
bro, no, by that time they're big and stuff like, or bigger. And 20 years old, now they can they can reproduce. After 20 years, they go back to the beach they were born on. So think about it. They get out for a year, they float wherever the ocean takes them, wherever the current takes them and shit, just like Finding Nemo, and then they just, in 20 years,
They gotta
make it
find
all
their
the way
way
back.
back.
Oh, they just go all the way back. It was crazy, bro. It was crazy.
Damn, bro. Hit
Yeah.
the lower thirds for us, man.
Hit the lower thirds, man. Hit it. The lower thirds. There it is.
Damn.
But yeah, man. Some
And
crazy shit.
they make it back. Animals are insane.
Bro, it's unbelievable. Humans can never do that shit. I
Never.
can't make it, bro. I need my GPS to get back from Ralph's. Ralph's Italian. I'm like, yo, where the fuck do we make a right over here, baby? That's it.
Damn.
It's some wild shit, man. We're so
How
dependent.
the fuck do they eat?
Bro, they do their goddamn thing, man. They just know what to do. They just know. It's a crazy thing. Like they just know. Think about birds like eagles and stuff. Just
Yeah.
learning how to fly. Like, oh yeah, we're up on this cliff. Imagine being like an eagle, like one of those hawks or eagles that's up on those mountains. You're just gonna figure it out. Trust me, jump. You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
That shit's impossible, bro.
Damn. But you know what? You talked about your vacation going on your turtle exhibit. Talk to us about the vacation. Did you have a good time? What was it like?
Wow.
I've been watching you on Instagram and
Shit was a movie.
it looked like a movie.
It was a goddamn movie. So, yes, myself and my lady, we went down to, and a friend of ours, we went down to Key West, where another friend of ours works at a resort. So we went down, stayed in Airbnbs, but because of him being down there and him being so familiar with everything there is to do down there, he took us out. Like, he told us like where to go. He recommended places. And man, let me tell you, we had some of the best food ever. We did awesome shit. So like the first day we got there, we went, we landed, Airbnb check-in was later. So we went, got some drinks, had some food, met up with him. Then went back and then got changed and stuff, went to our first dinner night that he took us to. So we went to this delicious place. It was, I believe it was called 915.
But all right, my guy.
Yo, I told him. I said he had to save that left side real estate because he was like, yo, this is my podcast side. I'm going to flex on him like this.
I'm finally getting my side up.
And you know what's funny? A lot of my tattoos on the inside, but it's all good.
Nah, you got the good side.
Now I'm gonna hit him right here. Don't worry, it's
boom.
coming. It's coming.
Go ahead. My bad. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, you good.
Shout out to Ray Figs.
Yo, shout out Ray Figs.
Yo,
man.
my guy's almost at. Everybody, go check out Ray Figs on YouTube. He's almost at 300 subscribers. Go over there and subscribe to his channel.
Yeah, go hit that fucking. We'll link it in the bio.
Yeah,
or in the description rather.
I don't want to keep interrupting your story, but you see his pop page?
Yeah,
that shit just is blowing up overnight, yo.
Yeah, it's not overnight. He's working.
Well, he's going hard. I'm not trying to discredit him. I'm just saying how impressed I am.
I know you're not discrediting him. We love that man. He's coming back on soon. Yo, round of applause for Ray Figs. Round of applause for Ray Figs.
Go ahead. You were eating good food.
So we were eating great food. The first night we went to this place. I think it was called 915, I think, if I remember correctly. But goddamn, it was delicious, man. Had some champagne and stuff. Had some great food, man. We had like a little bit of everything because that's the way he likes to eat, and it's like a really smart way to eat. So he'll just order a whole bunch of stuff. A lot of times it's pretty excessive, but it's goddamn delicious. So there'll just be a lot of food, and then we'll get like a couple of bottles, right? So it was real good. It was real good. So that was the first night. Then the next day we went to breakfast. Yo, the spots down there were legit for breakfast, man.
Dude, I'm the brunch guy.
Bro, we went to this coffee spot. Would have blew your mind. We went there like a couple times while we were there. Bro, they serve us like lavender water while we're waiting for our coffees to be ready. The coffees were incredible. Yo, it was one of those places where they're just throwing like straight up espresso in there and you taste it and you don't even need to put anything in it. Damn. Like, it's so rich and stuff. It was so good, man. And they were real cool people. Service was great. We went jet skiing that day.
Oh, how was jet skiing?
Bro, we were ripping on this shit. You want to hear? This shit's funny. You ready for this shit?
Yeah.
All right, so we get down like my girl and I, our friend booked this for my girl's birthday because we were down there during my girl's birthday. So she hooked up this jet ski trip for us. I'm like, damn, this shit's gonna be lit. So we get there, we go jet skiing, and as they're, they have to talk to you about it and stuff. And of course, I'm like one of the only suckers never been on a jet ski before in my life, right? So I'm like, yeah, I never been on a jet ski. I was like, I've been on boats. I just don't like. I've even like driven my friends' boats and shit. So I'm like, I know how to. Like, I have an idea.
Yeah, you've conned a boat in the past.
Yeah, I've conned. I say driven. That's not the word. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, I think I'll be able to figure it out. It's like a bike on the water, right? That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking in my head, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this shit is like a dirt bike on the water. Like, we'll figure it out. Got a little, I'm sure there's a little drift side to side. I'm going to work this out.
It's closer to like a ski on the water.
Yeah. So I keep it a stack with him and I tell him. So he's explaining everything to us. And then there's this couple there. Right. And when they're putting the life jackets on us, the guy's shitting a brick while I could tell he's shook. The girl is shook. They're asking crazy questions. They're asking questions like the most ridiculous questions. Like, they're like this. They're like, so yeah, anybody ever die on one of these? And I'm like, the guy's like, well, he's like, only if you do something stupid. And they're like, so we have died. and I'm like, oh my God. Yo, they put the life vest on him. Yo, this dude, like me, I wish I was more diesel than I am. Mm-hmm. But this had to be the littlest guy I ever seen in my life. This dude, he had like a youth vest on.
He was going to slip out of it?
Bro, they had to put a vest on him. It was different colors than the rest of ours. Because it was like Thomas the Tank Engine colors and shit. Like, it was like, and the rest of ours were like.
He had the Paw Patrol shit on.
Yo, bro, it's like. It was way different. I was like, my man got the little shit on, but he had like a long torso, so it was like cropped, it was like, he looked real cropped, so I was like, all right. I said, but let him do his thing. So we get on, then the guy, it was this hilarious like Spanish kid that was doing the jet ski shit. He had like his ice on, his earrings, his shit, right? He had like his long luxurious hair. He had like green eyes and shit. His tan was on point. I was like, this guy's got to be crushing it out here.
This guy fucks.
Yeah, this guy's got to be crushing it out here. So he starts talking. He's like, all right. He's like, so got to be honest with you guys. It's looking pretty bad out there. He says.
He told you it's looking bad out
It's looking pretty bad out there, he said.
It was choppy?
Yeah, it was choppy as fuck, right? So I'm like, oh, and I see that couple. They're like already white knuckling, and we're still on the dock. Like we're not even in the water yet. We're on jet skis, still up on the fucking like slip. So the dude, he's like, yeah, it looks pretty bad. And I'm like, so I made a joke out of it. I'm like, oh, I'm trying to make light of it, And I'm like, I was like, we're going to use a different word, right? I'm not going to see bad, right? Right, guys? And he's like, all right, it's not good, And I'm like, all right,
he's
bro.
He's like, I'm not going out there with you guys today.
He's like, yeah, I wouldn't, and he's like, might be a little cold. I kind of recommend a wetsuit. I look at him. I finally realized, I'm like, this guy looks like he's going like deep sea, like crab fishing. He's got like a full suit on. Like he's got like pants on and like a Columbia jacket and a hat and shit. And he's like, it's kind of windy out there. He's like, you guys should probably get a wetsuit. I recommend it. So we have to rent wetsuits. I'm like, if you're dressed like you're going to, like, yeah, about to have a snowball fight, I got to be at least prepared, Bro, so, he goes on to say, it gets even crazier. He tells him, he's like, yeah, make sure you got your life jacket on right side out. He's like, and listen to what I'm saying. He's like, outside with the buckles outside. He's like, I don't really understand. He's like, saw a lady drown one time in these,
Wait, what?
He's like, I don't know how. He said, you just float. He's like, she was all face down in the water. He's like, I don't really I swear to God, these are the stories he's telling us. And I'm like, bro, we're about to go out there. I was like, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, yo, this guy's crazy. So I know that they're shitting over there. I'm like, I know that they're over there shitting, So I just let it be what it is, We go out, bro. We're like probably 10 minutes into the jet ski ride. That couple got to get picked up. The dude is like, I'm not doing it. He's like,
they're out at sea?
Bro, we're out on the jet skis and they decide they don't want to go anymore. So the other guy that was with us, like he was like a secondary guy, like in case anybody, fell off the trail or something like that, or there's some shallow water. So if you hit some coral, if you got like stuck or something like that, they had another guy that would take you, like come and get you and rejoin you. Puta mierda. Rejoin you with the group, Smooth as ice. Should we go commercial break?
Justin just spilled a beer, so he's got to go get the napkins over there. Damn, I can't even. The story was getting so good. I would get up, but you guys can't see it. But I'm surrounded by a gang of like shit.
Cameras.
Fucking lights, cameras,
action.
I'm anybody who's ever been here as a guest knows that I am trapped in this spot.
He is indeed.
I just finally got the ability to like do this with my elbows, and I can't even get too crazy.
He just earned that shit tonight.
Yeah, I couldn't do that this whole time.
So see, we don't have a young Jamie to clean this up. See, you will look back at this before we're cleaning it. When we're still like cleaning up our own messes and connecting our own shit.
One day someone's gonna hand us our napkins. Okay, go back to it. These guys, they're out at sea.
So when they decide they got to go back, right? So they end up getting like taking the other dude. I felt bad for him. He ended up like not being able to like go out and be out on the water. He had to like take these people back. I'm sure that's
how does he take them back?
He had
they
to like
follow him back.
Yeah, probably. I mean, hopefully he didn't have to put that guy on his jet ski and have him hold his waist while he was riding back, and he had to go back for his lady. He's like, bro, we'll be back for you. Puts his girl on the back, and she's like holding on to me, like, whipping it through the water and leaving him out there.
I've been jet skiing once. The second you start to go rent a jet ski, or you're thinking about renting a jet ski, you price it out, you realize that you're in the wrong business, first of all. Because jet ski renting, at least where I was, I forgot where I was. I think it was in Puerto Rico. But I just felt it to be like, it was like pricey. I was like, this makes me want to buy a jet ski and like rent them out.
It's I'm sure that it's not that hard of a process, but I'm sure a pain in the ass is the insurance.
Yeah, the insurance. Yeah,
100%. You just got to be ready for people to sue you.
But it was nice because you got instructions. This guy was just like, you know what you're doing out there? He goes, You press the thing to go get to. He's like, you press here, you go forward, and he goes. And I don't. There's no brakes, right? Is there brakes? I don't even remember.
No, there's no brakes. There's just you let go.
Yeah,
You just let go of the throttle. Like that's.
he
what
just
it
showed
is.
me where the gas was. But your story is significantly better. When
Yeah.
they dude telling people they drowned. Did you have a good time out there?
Bro, it was a great time. It was a really, really good time, man. I was the jet skis we had topped out at like 44, 45. I think
fast enough for me.
I think I hit like 46 like one time. But it was real fun, man. It was legit. Once you get comfortable and stuff like that, and I was like learning, like I understood, like then I got the hang of it because we went for 90 minutes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we had like an hour and a half on there. So at first I'm learning, I'm trying to feel it out. Because I asked the guy before we went out, I was like, do you recommend I sit or stand up? And he's like, honestly, I recommend like you stand. If you can stand, stand. And I was like, oh yeah, of course. I was like, it's like riding a bike. Like you don't want to be taking jumps on a BMX bike sitting down.
Yeah, sitting down.
No, I was like, it doesn't make any sense.
Break your tailbone.
Yeah, you break your shit and you're not going to be able to absorb any of the shock, or anything like that. Like you want to be able to because you're going to be hitting like choppy water and stuff. But it was fun, man. Yo, my girl was shredding on that shit. My girl's crazy, yo. She can just do that kind of shit. She could just bounce. She literally was on the jet ski. Yo, she was in front of me. I was like, yo, better not go all slow and shit. Meanwhile, the whole time I'm trying to keep up. I'm like,
You ever seen those dudes on the, I don't know if they're jet skis, wave runners, or what the fuck they are. Those dudes doing them backflips and shit on the ones with where the jet ski, where the handle goes up and down. You ever seen those?
Yeah, it's like different. Looks almost like a little Tykes type of. It looks like a
Exactly.
cheaper jet ski, but really it's not. It's for a different function. But yeah, I know what you mean. It's like something like that, wave run or some shit.
This is extreme.
But anyway, man, that was a blast, yo.
What else? Let me know what'd you think about Key West? What'd you
That
think?
night we went to dinner again. Delicious. But Key West overall was good. We had a whole bunch of great food. The best meal we had was at this place called Lola's. Yo,
That's funny.
That's my dog's name,
Yeah.
which is legit. But it was one of them things where you don't know what the meal is. Oh, I got a funny story about this too. You don't know what the menu is. You don't know what it is. It's
You
a
can't
chef.
just say it's one of those things where motherfucker, I don't know about that. I never been through that. I don't be going to speakeasies.
All right, let me tell you about it then. So he books us this spot at Lola's, right? And so we get there and there's people outside. So there's like groups outside. There's like probably 15 people outside, right? And when we get there, because the concept of the restaurant is it's a chef that his menu changes every day based on like the freshest ingredients, what's available to him and stuff like that. So you don't know what it is. And they only do 2 meal services a day. And it's a very limited, there were like 8 tables. And that was it. So like we're all standing out there and this lady comes out all of a sudden. I'm like, what is it like open? He's like, yo, they'll be opening soon. It's like, it just give it like a couple minutes. A lady comes out, it's a British lady, and she goes, hello, I will start calling the parties one at a time. You can all just hang on a second, we'll get you all in. And then she starts calling names out for people like, oh, Robert, party of 3. And then they come up and she takes him in or whatever, like that, right? And then she goes, Susan, party of 4. And there's this lady and she's like, I'm Susan. She's like, but there's 6 of us. She said, Susan, party of 4. And she's like, that's me, but there's 6 of us. And she said, I've only got you down for a party of 4. And she's like, well, there's 6 of us. She's like, excuse me, when did you add 2 more? And she was like, I didn't. And she's like, did you speak with anyone? She's like, no. And she's like, well, I'll have to carry on. And then she goes, oh, it's
just
like,
skipped her?
yo, dead ass starts calling everybody else, calls us, our party that we have. We go in, she dead ass shuts the door out there. Susan party of 4 became the joke for the whole trip. Every single time we were like, yo, you better stop playing before you end up like Susan party of 4. You better stop playing. Yo, my girl's
Man,
friend
they
had
lost
me
their
crying.
table?
Nah, eventually they let them in. They brought them in and they made space for them for 6. But yo, I was crying, bro. I could not. She said, oh, well then, I'll have to carry on.
What they
Mark party of 4.
What did they end up serving? I'm really curious.
They had, what he ends up doing is he does 5 appetizers, 5 entrees, and then there's choices of dessert, right? So the 5 appetizers, if I remember, I wish somebody that was there was in the goddamn chat. All right. So the appetizers were like artichokes, I think, like stuffed mushrooms, a few different things. I fucking blanking out right now.
There was a lot of advertisers.
There were a lot of apps. There were 5 choices, and they were all good. I think there were 2 that I really wanted to try.
Which one did you have? That was a gimme. I literally lobbed that.
I should have taken notes. I really should. I should have taken notes.
Maybe
What
we
I
can
had
talk
for
about
dinner
the
was a
entrees.
steak.
Okay, good.
I had a steak. I had a bone-in ribeye.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I seen a picture of that one. It was the big boy, right?
Yeah. Yeah, she was delicious, yo. Damn, I wish I could get some help on this.
It's all right, man.
About to text my girl. But so there was that, and then the dessert. So the dessert was like I think it was like roasted bananas with like this crazy drizzle on it. There was like ice cream. It was good desserts, like regular stuff, but it was like regular things that you would think like regular concepts, but just like gourmet.
Yeah,
stuff.
fancy as fuck.
Yeah, and the dude was cooking in the dining room.
Oh, you like seeing him cook?
Yeah, like his stovetop and the ovens were right there. He was like, bro, he looked like the Undertaker in there. He was like in the shadows, and he had like this hat on, and he had this long hair, and he was jacked like Triple H. He looked like,
Damn.
you know, yo, he really looked like the Undertaker in the shadows. I'm gonna show you the boomerang I took of him.
So, what was like?
Hold on.
What's like the vibe like on the island? Because last time I was there, it felt like it's like very like old school, like kind of like Pirates of the Caribbean kind of fucking vibe.
It is. Well, it's funny you say that because you know the island that we went to,
Yeah.
the Dry Tortugas, that's actually where part of Pirates of the Caribbean was from, like what they talked about. The Tortugas, that was the island he was stuck on. So anyway, we ate there, and we actually went to an island that gave me like the fucking like pirate kind of vibe.
There was 100% pirates there.
Yeah, I'm sure somewhere.
Nah, 100% there were pirates there.
Yeah, I bet. So you
The
want
Pirates of the Caribbean. That's where that shit comes from. You know what I'm saying?
That's where they filmed it. That's
No,
what I mean.
But there's pirates in the Caribbean.
Oh, yeah,
And
for
that's right there
yeah,
by the Caribbean. So
Yeah.
a couple of the motherfuckers had some,
big
made it.
touristy spot though. They won't play that shit. America will fucking blow them motherfuckers up.
It
They're
wasn't
like, "Listen."
America back then, you know?
True, very true. But you mean the vibe? You were asking about the vibe?
Yeah, what was the vibe like?
It's a lot of middle-aged, drunk, white Jimmy Buffett kind of people.
Yeah, it's just out there ready to fuck, right?
Just out there fucking doing whatever they want. You know, there's a lot of like money, but it's like not yuppie money.
Mm-hmm.
It's like almost like blue collar money. Like it's like there's people that like own contracting companies, people that are like charter fishermen and shit, like people that make a lot of money, but they just are regular people that just go out and fucking chill and shit and just go to restaurants and shit. You know, you'll see
That's a cool ass vibe.
you'll see a millionaire knock somebody out there. You know, like it's like ain't no regular shit.
It's very like small town kind of vibes too, right?
Yeah, it was very like very coastal in a sense of like it almost reminded me of like parts of Long Island. Like it was like, you know, long sleeve tees and like Oakley shades and like a ball cap. You know, like the Oakley shades that are like tied in the back and they hang over, and the long sleeve tee with the cargo
I
shorts.
know exactly what you're
and
talking
the,
about.
And
yeah.
the flip flops
That's a
with
very
like
nautical look.
Yeah, and like the flip flops are like the bottle opener on the bottom. You know, it was like it was a cool vibe though, man. Like you know, we were definitely some of the younger people there. You know, for sure. I don't know if it's the time that we went or what, but it was definitely a good vibe, man.
That's what's up, man. I'm happy you guys had a good time.
Good vibe. That seaplane was dope.
Oh, I seen you on that small ass fucking plane. Talk
Yeah.
about that fucking dangerous ass plane.
Nah, so we took a seaplane because it was the ferry to get to this island to the Dry Tortugas, which is like these islands was like it was like 2.5, 3 hours and shit like that. So we were just like, yo.
Yeah, I want you guys to know that Justin pulled out all the fucking stops.
Nah, it was shout out our friend. I told him he's coming on the podcast because he's starting like a concierge business and shit, doing this exact kind
any
of
friend
thing.
of yours is a friend of mine. He's
I
more than
told him-
welcome here. Can I tell him about your pre-vacation purchases? Their pre-vacation purchase that we were talking about before.
What?
Justin owns jewelry. Like he has jewelry. But Justin, I see him today, and he's got like a platinum. He's got like a platinum rope on, a platinum rope, or a white gold rope, and I'm like, huh. I've never seen that. And I'm a fan of gold rope chains. You know what I'm saying? So like I figured I would have noticed. And so he's wearing it, and I'm like, and it's shining.
Shut up.
It's shining. That's how I noticed it, because we had just turned the lights off to turn these on. And I'm like, yo, is that a new fucking shit? You got a new chain on vacation? Sometimes people go on vacation and they buy jewelry. That's like a thing.
It's a thing,
right?
yeah.
This motherfucker turned around and said, nah, I bought it before I went, you know? This is like the vacation shit.
Yeah. What do you want from me, bro? What do you want from me?
Now he's taking planes and shit.
Yo, so listen, we talked about it. Me and him talked about it. It was like 2.5 hours for the ferry, and with mad people,
Yeah.
or they could fly
Nah,
you there. It just costs more.
I'd rather take the fucking plane too.
Bro, we flew there, bro. We got there in 30 minutes. We were literally on the island. And mind you, they drop you off and they're like, yo, there's nobody there with you. They're like, we're dropping you off. They give you a little map and they're like, don't go over here. It's broken. You'll fall. Don't go over here. Be careful when you walk over here. Walk around here because there's a fort there, and a fort that's now like a national park, Fort Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, you're more than welcome to go up and walk around the fort, go to the top of the fort, but listen, just watch your step. And they're like, sign this waiver. They're like, there'll be nobody there. We'll come to get you in like 4 hours.
What?
And then they just flew us there, bro. And we cruised at 500 feet. So it was like we were right over the water and shit. And he was like, yo, look out there. You can see stingrays and sharks. My girl was seeing all kinds of sea life. I saw one turtle. She was like, you were looking too hard. They were everywhere. I was like, fuck. I was like, why is she so in tune? And why can't I see anything?
What does that mean? What's your sign, bro?
Yo, I'm a Libra.
That's why, man.
God, I was like, yo, I can't see anything. I'm getting like sick, just staring at the water, you know. And she's like, no. She's like, I saw so many turtles. She's like, did you see all the stingrays? I was like, you didn't see any stingrays. And she's like, yes, I did, babe. They were everywhere. I was like, fuck. I was like, we were in the same goddamn plane, weren't we?
Damn, yo, you had a good ass time. I'm so happy for you.
It was mad fun, bro.
That's what's up.
We went to the butterfly exhibit too.
That shit was hard.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I seen your. So it's funny because I told Justin, I was like, damn, you going on vacation, just like put it in my, like, I haven't had a vacation in so long.
That shit put a bug up your ass, right?
Yeah, I was like, I gotta get the fuck out. I gotta get out. But I was like living my vacation fantasy like vicariously through you. The butterfly shit was hard. Can you pass me a seltzer?
Yeah,
since you have that open? Since you got that puppy open?
I wish I could pass you one right now.
There's no seltzer in there?
Nope, Papa. Sorry.
Well, the one I grabbed before is nice and cold. Justin moved over there, so.
I'll get it for you.
Nah, you don't got to get it.
I'll get it for you. I'm not going to have you over here with no seltzer. Come on, seltzerless? Nah, but yo, that shit was so. Let me tell you about the butterfly shit.
I want to talk about the butterfly shit, and then we'll. Where are we at right now?
I'm going to tell you about that butterfly shit.
Go ahead.
It was like this natural, like, exhibit. It was like a rainforest kind of greenhouse inside. Like, you went in, they were playing this peaceful ass music. Like, it was like, oh.
It's like a terrarium, right?
Yo, it was crazy. It was like these like angel voices singing. Meanwhile, there's flamingos and shit in there. There's birds
flamingos in there?
Bro, birds I never seen before. Butterflies everywhere, bro. Everywhere. Yo, I'm trying to get them to just let me take a picture, bro. They're landing on my girl. She don't even know. They're like on her head.
Whoa. Slow down. Hold on.
What?
There's just wild flamingo. You're in a loose area with flamingos.
There's flamingos in the water right in there. Like right inside the place. Yeah, I got pictures and videos and shit. I'll show you.
That's wild.
Yo, it was like for real, bro. It was really some.
I'd be afraid to get taken down. I'm afraid of birds.
Yeah, are you? Yo,
Yeah,
you're smart to be afraid of birds,
They can fly.
Bro, birds are scary as fuck. Don't ever sleep on no goddamn birds.
Yeah, especially a fucking flamingo.
Bro,
you
you don't wanna
get
sleep.
that shit in a single leg, it just stands. It just stays up. You can't take a fuck. You got a double leg of flamingo. You can't fucking high crotch a fucking flamingo. That shit'll never go down. You
definitely not got better takedown defense than like Israel Adesanya, right?
Nobody's got
Stylebender takedown defense.
Yeah, bro. A flamingo, you gotta fucking shoot double leg or go for the fucking neck, jump on its back.
Bro, you gotta pull guard. You're done.
Bro, when you told me you're in there with loose flamingos, like immediately in my head, I'm like, is there fucking ostriches in there shit too? Like, how dangerous is
There's
this?
these big ass emus in there. It was wild. And so, yo, says butterflies everywhere, birds, and it was just beautiful in there, you know. So that was something we did. We went to Hemingway's house and shit. Went around there. He got all these 6-toed cats that be in there. There's like hundreds of cats on the property, and they have a big they have like 6 toes. They were like, that's like his breed. They're like, that's how you know they're from the same bloodline of his cats. They're all over, like they're sleeping in the house, but it was clean. It was weird.
What?
Yeah, it was so nuts.
That's pretty gangster. His cat's like fucking Genghis Kong. His cat, he just brought him over there. He just started fucking all local cats. Now they all got his fucking DNA.
For real, yo, straight up, yo. That cat came through and fucking ran shit.
That's nuts.
But anyways, yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Before you left on vacation, were the gas prices this fucking high?
Yo, gas prices are fucking crazy.
What the fuck is happening, dude?
Bro, the president cut down the fucking pipeline. He shut the pipeline down.
Well, listen, so you guys all know I work from home, so I never leave the house. On last Thursday, I'm going to Brooklyn to get tattooed, and I go to the Shell, and it's $4.50 fucking cents. Twiz is in Arizona. I would love to know what the gas is like. The gas prices are like over there right now. But dude,
bro, I drive a lot
cents?
for work, and I have a Jeep Wrangler.
What were the prices like before you left? Were they like? Did they shoot up in that time?
Nah, bro, they've been like $4, bro.
What?
Bro, it's crazy out there, bro. It's really they shut the pipeline down. They got fucking people not working because of the COVID vaccine, so people are getting fired from their jobs. The truckers and shit aren't. Do you understand how many ships are in the ports like jammed up?
Yeah.
Because there's no truck drivers to deliver any of the goods. Because people act like that people just are expendable and shit like that. And people are just like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm not driving a truck no more.
With the people, and there's a multiple groups that contribute to this, but essentially nobody wants to work anymore, right? There's people that just, they're starting to understand their value. And then there's other groups of people who just simply like, either they're making more money staying at home, or they're just like, there's no incentives to go back to work, right? Maybe they're not paying rent, maybe this, maybe that, right? But there's a lot of people who are starting to realize, I don't want to do that shitty job I've been doing. And then there's the other group of people, right, that they want to work, but they can't because they're not vaccinated and they can't work in their industry.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things. It's like a perfect storm for incapacitating or really hurting the workforce. Yeah. There's a lot of things at play here. There's programs that are incentivizing staying home. There's
New Mexico, not Arizona. I'm sorry. Correction. Go ahead.
There's, programs incentivizing not working to a degree, of course. There's jobs mistreating workers and thinking, or just industries in general that haven't improved to the point they should have to make working in those conditions a little more tolerable and a little more fucking humane. Mm-hmm. So, and then there's also people. The pandemic occurred, so you have people that can't work because of the vaccine mandates and stuff, and you also have people that are realizing and reevaluating what's important in their lives. I'll tell you what, man. I mean, I don't have kids, but if I did, I could only imagine what it would have been like to be home with my kids all the time. You're probably like, holy shit, is this what parenting used to feel like?
I will tell you that I definitely believe in the value of like if you have the ability to have like a parent at home raising you, it's great. But I will tell you, like working from home, it's definitely nice to be with your kid. It's not, if you had to work from home and take care of your kid, that's kind of tough.
Yeah.
That's kind of tough. But hey, listen, if it saves you some money and you could do it, you got an older kid, that's not that bad. But I definitely get what you're saying. Like people being at home, raising their kids, being with their kids, getting to spend that time with them. It's like, now I got to go over here, and all the money I'm making is just to pay for somebody to watch this person.
Yeah, bro. I straight up have one of my very good friends. He is married, and his wife was working, and her working. When they sat down and did the math, all of her money was going to daycare. Like all of her earnings, like she was working part-time, and all of her earnings were going to daycare. So they just did the math and were like, yo, stay home. We're breaking even.
Yeah. Twiz just put up a good point. He said Twiz says some people have to understand some jobs are entry-level jobs. I definitely can agree with the fact that we need to have realistic understandings of like what you should be getting compensated for certain jobs, right?
True. And what your ability is.
Yes. Because, and I said this to somebody one day and they got offended, but if you're an adult and you work in fast food, there's nothing wrong with that.
Agreed.
Nothing wrong with it.
It's an honest living.
it's an honest living. But I think that a lot of opportunities like that, they're also good opportunities for younger kids to get into like a job that's not a ton of responsibility. You don't make a ton of money, but you get to, earn a couple bucks. So
And learn responsibility.
Go having to be somewhere on time and having to perform a certain action, and
Your appearance needs to be decent. If they want you to tuck your shirt in,
getting a fucking job. I think that those like places like that, like fast food places, are great opportunities for younger kids. So like when people are like, oh, those places need to pay X amount of dollars, I'm kind of like, I don't see that. I don't see why those places need to pay like. Why the minimum wage needs to be $23 an hour.
Well, Twiz just says you can't get paid $15 an hour for bagging groceries.
How can they rationalize that?
So now I have a kind of a slightly different view on this.
Okay, yes, let's hear it.
I have a slightly different view on this because I do agree that relative to what other jobs get paid, $15 an hour to bag groceries might be a little much. My issue is everyone needs to get paid a little bit more. Everyone. So if let's say a job right now that's making $15 an hour that we can agree is appropriate for $15 an hour, that job may need to move to $23 an hour so that bagging groceries job can be $15. Because in my opinion, this is how I feel. I don't know if people agree or disagree. If you are willing to work 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, if you can put 40 hours in, I feel you should make enough to be able to feed yourself, your wife, and maybe a kid. Okay. I feel like working 40 hours a week, you should be able to afford to live. So I don't care what you're doing.
I agree that you should be able to survive working a full-time job, right? However, when you think about small business and small businesses like we're referring to bagging groceries right now. A mom and pop grocery store can't afford to, at that point, if everybody's wage goes up, guess what else is going up? The price of the apple, because now this guy's got to make the extra money to pay this guy.
That's true, and then that cost gets passed off to the consumer.
Exactly. So, but if he hired and I'm not saying younger people deserve to be paid less. That's not what I'm saying. But if maybe this guy who's got to feed his family, like unfortunately, he's gonna have to find a different job. And listen, the truth is that there's jobs out there. You can make a ton of money doing, anything, construction. You can make it. There's areas where you can go in and there's people paying out there.
But let's say you don't want to work construction. Let's say you really, really like you have an OCD type of thing and you love to level shelves in fucking Target. You love to level the shelves and bring everything forward because that brings you fucking peace and fulfillment. You should be able to earn enough to fucking eat and keep your lights on.
If you really enjoy leveling shelves at Target, that's perfectly fine. But your expectation can't be that that the Target would have to sustain the lifestyle that you deem sufficient because you really like stocking shelves, right?
No, you should get paid more for what you do. That's my point. I should get paid more for what I do. Everyone should get paid more, a little bit more, to make that $15 an hour not so ridiculous.
My only thing with everybody getting paid more is I think it just we're just you're in the same place, right? Like if we all had if you gave everybody $100, right? It's we're back in the same place where we were before, We're still everything's still even. I'm still $100 more. I got $100 more than you do, and
I guess you're right. It would be relevant. Yeah. Because being that total cost would get passed off to the consumer, we'd break even.
Exactly.
They'd still be just as poor as they were.
Essentially,
that makes sense. That's true.
I don't disagree with what you're saying. That's true. I don't disagree with the theory of what you're saying.
That's true.
Yeah, don't worry. I feel like people should be compensated enough to I feel like you should be able to have a job that's not great and still be able to pay rent at in your apartment and shit like that. I don't think that you should be able to work at Target and own a 35-bedroom mansion. That's not what we're saying.
But working full time at Target,
working full time there, you should be able to have an apartment and feed your kids.
You can't do that.
But you can't. Not in New York, but you can do it in other places. My buddy's in Virginia right now, and he just told me he's renting a 5-bedroom for $1,400 a month. That means that he can get a job at like Target or and nothing against people who work at Target.
Yeah, we're just using a name of any kind of
We're
establishment.
using an establishment
what
that
it
has
is.
like that probably has a set wage that they pay their workers.
Yeah.
Because
It's a store that's popular. It's around.
Yeah, but that when you go to places like that, you can afford to have these jobs that are passion jobs like stocking shelves, and you can get by. And if you want to level up and get the big boy whatever, then you can find another job that pays more, and then you can start making the sacrifice. You got to pay to play.
See, but my point is, like, somebody's got to do that work, right? Not everybody's capable of leveling up.
Damn, Twiz is blowing the fucking chat up, and I missed like 90% of that.
Yeah, nah, he's right. We're going to go back and review this. God damn, Twiz. We're going to go back and review this. Some people have to understand jobs, entry-level jobs. Yeah, we talked about that. 15 an hour. Realistic expectations of what our compensation should be. I agree. Back in the 50s, inflation was caused the wealth gap. I know, man. That's my point. Is like the wages need to reflect inflation.
Yes.
They have to. It's like, for the money.
I agree.
And that's what in turn would raise that level of not a minimum wage, a livable wage.
Yeah. So, and I agree with. There should be a livable wage that people shouldn't have to be killing themselves. You shouldn't have to work 3-4 jobs. That I could agree with. And I think like New York, and this might be everywhere, like inflation's like 3%, right? So that means that if you don't go up 3% every year, then you're
poor if you don't change your job in 2
making
years.
less. You're making less.
Yeah, your money has less buying power every year.
Yeah. Your
It's
money
the
has
same
less
reason-
buying power, 3% every single year. So guess what? Then it's compounding or non-compounding, whatever it is. But every year, 3%.
Yeah,
3%,
it's
3%.
just it's degrading. That's just becoming, that's why having cash and stuff like that makes no sense. When people sit on piles of cash in their checking account and shit like that for no reason, it's like, invest that shit or spend it. You might as well, because that money that you have sitting in there, every year you're losing money. It's losing buying power. Like that dollar next year is 98 cents. The year after that is 97 cents. The year later is 94 cents. Like that's the buying power of that money.
Yeah, because you tell you one thing, you're definitely not getting a 3% interest rate on a savings account.
Fuck no. You're not getting 3% on shit. The only way that you're getting a good investment return is through investing in the stock market.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Bed Bath & Beyond.
Oh, yeah, no, because we were talking about, let's get back to people not wanting to work.
Yeah, because aside from the fact that places aren't paying really, there's no incentive to go into work. There's the opposite side where there's the people who give the jobs and nobody's going to apply. I feel like everywhere I go, I see like help wanted signs.
Yeah, help is wanted, but is help appreciated? That's the trade-off. That's the trade-off, because there's so many jobs where you work where it doesn't make sense. They're short-staffed, but they're letting people go for frivolous reasons and shit like that.
But they can't all be not every place has to be shitty because people aren't being treated appropriately. While I agree that
most employers are not good employers.
Most. When you talk about industries like retail or fast food and like a lot of these places where
which are these entry level positions that we talk about.
Yep.
They treat their employees the worst.
They want a lot for a little.
Exactly. And it's and what's the incentive anymore to continue to make people rich? While you just bust your ass and miss time with your family. It's like, is this worth it? I mean, what would I take a pay cut if I just stay home? Would I take a pay cut for make $100 less every 2 weeks? I mean, that becomes a very tempting incentive. It's I don't know, man. It's a goddamn quagmire, because really, I don't know what came first, the chicken or the egg. Are people staying home because they're getting paid? Or are people staying home because they're like, yo, this is bullshit? And the government's like, fuck, man, if we don't give them some fucking money, we need to keep stimulating our economy. People need to spend. If people don't have money to spend, we can't keep this machine going.
And even worse, man, the people who are like, yo, I want to go back to work. Just let me go back to work. I just don't want to take this shot.
Yeah, see, it's like Kanye said, what Twiz said. Crab in a barrel mentality. Kanye said, Jay-Z had the best quote ever. He said, why are they in the barrel? He said crabs ain't supposed to be in a barrel. How you know how they're supposed to act? I was like, damn, that's gangsta shit. But right, you know,
You said that on Drink Champs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's like you don't want to take that shot. You don't want to take that risk, man.
113.
Damn, we went deep.
Yeah, we went deep.
We went deep.
Ladies and gentlemen.
It's our first podcast back. We ran a little left, we ran a little right, we zigged, we zagged, but we brought this shit home, man.
Yeah, it was a good night. I think it was a good night.
It was a good night, man. We had a good time. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to Twiz in the chat. Shout out to Ray Figs in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat.
Yeah, we appreciate all you guys for sticking
Yeah.
around, especially everybody who stuck around to the end. Everybody listening to us on Spotify. If you're still with us here right now, please do us a favor. Give us a thumbs up. If you're listening to us on Spotify, give us a follow or whatever it's called on Spotify. Is it follows? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's follow, subscribe. Listen, hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment.
Show some love.
All right?
Masters
That's
of
what we
None.
want. Masters of None, episode what?
57.
57. Let's go, guys. We appreciate you guys. Love you.
Bye-bye.
Ow.
Oye, te hablo desde la prisión. Wilson Manyoma.